Welcome back. This year's NCAA Tournament is filled with some high-flying freshman sensations. From Gonzaga's Jalen Suggs to Oklahoma State's Cade Cunningham, freshmen are expected to play a big part in this year's tourney. But which freshman will have the biggest impact? I'm joined by Jerome Sweeney and Max McElroy to debate.
Well, I think that Jalen Suggs is going to have the most impact. And the reason I say that is simply just because I think he is the best player on the best team in the country. And I think going into the tournament, I think that Gonzaga honestly kind of got a favorable region for them at least. And I think that Jalen Suggs, everyone will be able to see this guy. He is the most impactful freshman.
I mean, that's a hot take because Drew Timme, Corey Kispert, Ayayi, that's a stacked team. That is a stacked basketball team. You know, Cade Cunningham, Oklahoma State Cowboys, great basketball team, not as stacked of a basketball team. How do you not argue for Cade Cunningham? He has ball game takeover potential. Oklahoma State would not be a 4 seed without him. Without TCU, they're probably honestly a 2 or 3 seed.
Well, so the thing about Cade Cunningham is I still think that team is, I think that as a point guard for both the teams, Jalen Suggs, he doesn't score as many points as Cade Cunningham, but he elevates the team. So Gonzaga last year averaged 5 less assists, and they also averaged then 5 less rebounds. And I think now with Jalen Suggs, both of those have gone up. Now, I don't know necessarily everything else, but even points scored for other teammates has gone up. And Jalen Suggs averaged 15 points. I mean, let's not act like he doesn't score.
Right.
But I think that the team's battle-tested, and I think Jalen Suggs, with what he does for Gonzaga and what he has done, he's elevated them. Last year, they were 31-2 going into the tournament.
Right.
Great record. But this year, now they're undefeated. And they're looking like they're unbeatable.
Can Jalen Suggs do it without star power around him? In high school, he couldn't. He needs a big man to succeed, but if an injury were to happen to Corey Kispert or Drew Timme, I strongly believe Jalen Suggs would have strong troubles moving the ball inside. I think he would choke.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'd go as far as to choke. The thing about Jalen Suggs is just like with what so Corey Kispert is I think a lot of people that I've talked to, when I was talking to my roommates even, they're like, he's the best player on Gonzaga. But again, he scored even less points last year. Now you have Jalen Suggs coming in. He's able to pass the ball, distribute the ball a lot better. I think he might be one of the best pure just passers in the draft, as a prospect and even in the tournament.
Cade Cunningham is averaging 36 minutes a game. He barely comes off the floor. Jalen Suggs is averaging 25 minutes a game. Because, granted, he did have that Achilles scare earlier in the year. You gotta be careful of injuries. But on the court, Cade Cunningham has all eyes on him. On the court, Jalen Suggs, sure, there's some eyes on him. Corey Kispert, Drew Timme have eyes on them. Teams build their defensive schemes around Cade Cunningham, and that is why I think he is just going to be an absolute monster to deal with come March.
Well, I'll say this, though. If Cade Cunningham can't shoot well, what else can he do that's extremely well? I mean, he doesn't lead the team in he only averages, I think it was like 1.7 assists per game, and he gets out-rebounded. The guy on their team averages 10 rebounds, so it's like, if Cade Cunningham has an off night, what else can he do? And that's why I think Jalen Suggs brings a lot more to the table.
Right. I mean, he has a great team. There's more playmakers around him. There's no denying that. But end of the day, Cade Cunningham, every team that he's going to be going up against, in the first round, Liberty Flames, they're all eyes on Cade Cunningham. Further rounds, it's all going to be Cade Cunningham, schemes around him, double team him, and once the double teams come, you're going to be right. He's going to be challenged in, having to learn how to become a pass distributor, stepping up rebounding, and it's going to be very interesting to watch for sure.
Yeah, I think that where Jalen Suggs will succeed over most people or have the most impact is even if he has an off night shooting, if he only is scoring 10 points, he'll be able to still get 4 assists, and he'll be able to pass the ball off a lot more. And even when Corey Kispert has struggled, Jalen Suggs has then shined and scored 22, 23 points. And also all of the games that they've played against Kansas and West Virginia specifically, 2 of their ranked games this year, Jalen Suggs led the team in scoring. And so, when you have a guy like, Corey Kispert's a great scorer, but in the biggest games, Jalen Suggs has shined the most.
My one concern with Gonzaga's team as a whole is they do give up to quad one opponents. They give up 80 points a game, and they strictly rely on scoring 90 points a game to beat teams. And like you said, if one guy of that trio has a tough night, they might get upset. And players like Cade Cunningham need to show up every day, They need to bring the energy, and they need to play. They need to carry their teams to the next round.
Yeah, and we see that all the time in March. Just freshmen just carrying
exactly.
teams into the tournament.
I mean,
always very exciting to see.
There's no denying that these two guys are two of the top draft picks in the upcoming draft, and all eyes are going to be on Jalen Suggs and Cade Cunningham, and it's just going to be exciting. Jacob, you are going to be so thrilled to see these guys go at it this year.
Yeah, well, we all love the games of Suggs and Cunningham, and I think they're going to have some great tournaments. But one guy that I'm looking out for is Illinois freshman Andre Curbelo. I think all the attention's on Kofi Cockburn, Ayo Dosunmu, but he is going to become a household name this March. We're going to head to commercial, and we'll be right back.